headed out into the woods. Basically almost for one reason, which will probably grow as I get out there. But last night I was on my computer just kind of looking at some satellite photos of some public property that I hunt, and two particular trees in the swamp kind of caught my attention, to be honest with you, based on where they're at in a little creek that runs through. Not little, you can't really cross it. It's really thick back there. A couple weeks ago I was literally probably 100 yards from where they were, but I didn't go there because I didn't really notice. I didn't notice it, didn't know they were there, to be honest with you. But after looking at them last night, I thought I should get out there and take a look at those before things kind of get a mess or everything kind of grows back in. There's kind of another spot that I want to check, but I know it gets really wet and deep, so I'm waiting for my hip waders to come in so I can go out there, because I know it's gonna be above my boots. Might be above my hips, I don't know, but we'll see. So I'm just gonna go out there, take a look at this one spot, see if there's some bedding in it, what kind, and head out. I might look for, well, if there's some good bedding there, I'll look for a tree that I could set up on. There's a turkey right there out in the field. Looks like a big old tom. Big old tom right there. That was cool. Anyway, so I might look for a tree stand, or I might look for a tree that I can set up in. It's going to be super thick back there, but just get a tree 7-10 feet up, get in my beast stand, and hope for the best. I think it's safe to say that once the ladder stand goes up on public property, it pretty much never comes down. Looks like an old rub, which that's up to my head, but I'm assuming it probably stood up on this mound or something. Either that or there's an elk in here. Yeah, it's pretty much on the other side. You see the rub down there. I'm not seeing really anything fresh from last year in here, to be honest with you. Trails are crazy through here. I still need to go that way straight about a couple 100 yards. There's a tree I could get up right there. I don't know if you can see, but right along there, there's basically, that's the edge of a swamp to kind of a back overgrown meadow. You can see right there, there's a cluster of trees. I've actually hunted in there before. It's kind of right in the swamp, and I've hunted there before. I actually missed a buck with a gun. That's how I kind of found the spot. But there was a tree stand in there a couple years ago, and then all this is swamp for, you know, it's not enormous, but it's fairly big. There's a couple trees right there I could possibly get up in, but I mean, you can see in here, look at how tight it is. It's super tight. I'm not exactly sure how to even get a shot, but try to figure out something. I don't see any rubs in here, but it's all matted down. See right there's the creek. That was those group of trees I was telling you about, but you can get to that from the other side. Not super easy, but relatively easy. There's a bush there and then another tree there I want to get to and look at. But no huge trails. There is a trail here, but it's certainly not super wide by any stretch, and doesn't look like antlers have broken a bunch of stuff, that's for sure. So this is the actual spot I wanted to get to. Basically, there's a creek that runs that way, runs this way, and then runs off to the left. That's mainland. You can see those tall trees over in there. And then if you go back that way, which I'm going to go over to those trees next, I think, that's land as well. Definitely a bed and a trail that goes that way. They could sit right here, watch all this, and obviously behind them, if anything were to come, they would know long before it got here. But again, I mean, there's not a whole lot to rub here, so maybe that's just why there's not a bunch of rubs. But I certainly don't see a whole lot of sign. So there's a definite trail coming out of here, kind of into this point, and works your way back. I'm definitely going to try to set up, I think, once or twice this year, right in this point here, in the hopes of catching them coming out before dark. There is a little trail right there, but it's way back in the woods. People, hunters, I'm sure, walk down it on occasion, but I don't think anybody's coming back here consistently. I think that's the third stand I've seen out here in public. Give him this. He's up a ways, although he's down a little bit on the ground as far as where the tree's at, so he's probably not quite as high when you get up here near the top. But as thick as it is, I'm not sure they're actually walking through that section. But give him credit. He's worked obviously pretty hard at getting it up. Oh, another ladder stand. Cool spot, but I can't possibly imagine them not getting picked off where they're at. They must be only doing it gun. Can't be bow. There's no way that they would and they're down on a low spot, so you get up there and they're like 10 feet or less off the ground. Here's another stand out here. This person's a little more serious. He's not up very high, but in this stuff you don't have to. That looks like a lone wolf, I think. think those are API sticks. I don't normally get up in people's stands, but this one was low enough, has all the sticks there. I decided to get up in it and see what it looks like. I like it. I like the spot. If you're not carrying a bunch of stuff in, you can probably get in pretty quietly. I know that there's some bedding in there, in that clump of bushes there, because I was in there a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago. And I'm sure around these trees and stuff there's probably some more. I didn't originally come to do this, but once you're out here, it's kind of hard to stop. Here's another stand. Like the spot. Somebody's doing a little bit of work to hunt it, but it's not terrible to get to it, to be honest with you. They probably come from back there. And another tree stand. I'm not really sure why he's set up in that exact spot, to be honest with you, but maybe it's for gun only. I don't know. He's gonna have to walk in right where the deer are walking if he expects them to come through here. So maybe in gun, he expects them to be out in the swamp. And you know, one of the things I don't mind, all these stands are not allowed to be here. They're here legally. But one of the things, honestly, I don't mind about them being here is I know where people are hunting. If everybody took down their tree stand and they were all empty, if everybody took down their tree stand and the woods was empty, then you wouldn't know where people are hunting, and you could be setting up where there's lots of pressure and not even knowing it. So these stands that are not supposed to be up but are actually are helpful in that regard, to know not to hunt in that area. Doesn't mean you have to go miles away, but you could go a couple 100 yards away. The other thing is, I investigate them to see if some of them look like gun spots versus bow. And if that's the case, I don't mind bow hunting there necessarily, or in a general area, if it's only a gun spot. So when I walk up and see tree stands, I always try to kind of formulate whether that's the case or not. And to be honest with you, I've actually used that to my advantage before in hunting certain spots in public. And a couple years ago, I had a good opportunity, a nice buck that I blew. But there's a tree stand within 60 yards of it, but I know it's only a gun stand. So I didn't mind hunting right near it, and sure enough, I blew my opportunity. But there's houses literally right there. It's the end of the public. So somebody's probably walking right back from there to this spot. So, I don't know, but now I'm officially gonna head out this time. It looks like I found a climber this time. Oh my. Basically, hunting Michigan public is the process of eliminating hunting spots. I have a hard time believing that this guy is successful, but who knows? Maybe he's just after doe. Look at this. Look at all the hair here. Clearly, this is being used. Look at that, all that deer hair. old rub, a couple old rubs. But I mean, how in the world do you even hunt a deer like this? There's like no trees in the middle of nowhere, and I don't even know whether there'd be a tree where you could hunt it. But let's keep going, see what else you can find. There's a big tree there. There's a tree right here. This is what I'm in the middle of. All reeds. Here's another one, clearly bedding. You can see the hair in it. It's a trail going that way, trail going that way, one going that way. For the life of me, I don't even know how you would hunt this, but for now I just want to locate the beds. It's hard to say what they are, to be honest with you. There's no rubs or anything in here, but there aren't really a whole lot of trees either. You can see what I'm walking through. It's a mess. This is pretty cool. Big mound with a den of some sort that's pretty open. I'm gonna get up there and see if I can see anything worth note. All right, there's that island. I was way over there that I pointed to. There's that island, and here's actually the mainland. But look at how thick this is. I'm gonna kind of head back that way and then work my way through all this thick stuff and see what I can find. Look at that trail right through there. Another trail, which is where I'm gonna head, right there.